You don't need years of experience to sell handmade. You need the right product, and we're starting right now. 1. Soy wax container candles. Let's begin where most successful handmade businesses begin, with candles. Not because it's the easiest product on this list, but because the margin, the demand, and the repeatability of candle sales make it one of the most financially reliable first products a beginner can choose. The global candle market is growing steadily and is projected to reach $20.1 billion by 2030. More importantly, for a beginner, soy candles have a very manageable learning curve. You need soy wax, a fragrance oil, a pre-tabbed wick, a glass jar, and a label. Your material cost for an 8-ounce candle runs between $3 and $5. Your retail price on Etsy or at a craft fair sits between $15 and $28. That's a gross margin that can sustain a real business. The critical skill to develop before you sell a single candle is your burn test. You need to confirm that your wick size is correct for your jar diameter, that your candle burns with a full melt pool reaching the edges within about 3 to 4 hours without excessive soot or mushrooming on the wick. That test is not optional. A candle that tunnels or produces black soot ruins your reputation faster than anything else. Learn the burn test, nail your formula, then list. 2. Melt and pour soap. Melt and pour soap is the right starting point for anyone who wants to sell handmade soap without handling sodium hydroxide yet. The soap base is already saponified. The chemistry is done. You melt it, add color, scent, and any inclusions you want, pour it into a mold, and you have a finished, sellable product within hours. The learning curve is genuinely gentle, which makes it perfect for a beginner building confidence and a product range simultaneously. A quality melt and pour bar with an interesting color combination, a thoughtful fragrance, and a beautiful label sells for $6 to $12. Your material cost per bar is $1.50 to $3. The important thing to understand is that melt and poured is not a lesser product than cold process. It's a different product category, and there are extremely successful handmade soap businesses built entirely on it. Glycerin soap bases produce bars with beautiful translucency, hold inclusions like dried flowers and botanicals cleanly, and allow design effects that cold process can't achieve. Lip balm. Lip balm is one of the most beginner-accessible bath and beauty products in existence, and it makes a strong business case on its own. The formula is simple: beeswax or condylia wax for structure, a carrier oil for moisture, a small amount of flavor or essential oil, and optionally a cosmetic colorant for tinted versions. Material cost per tube runs 50 cents to $1.50 including the tube. Retail price per balm is $4 to $8. Sets of 3 in coordinating flavors sell for $12 to $18 and make excellent impulse purchases at markets and craft fairs. Lip balm is also a natural cross-sell alongside handmade soap. A customer who buys your bar soap is already interested in natural skincare and is a warm lead for your lip balm. One important point: if you're selling lip balm in the US, it's regulated as an over-the-counter cosmetic by the FDA. That means your labeling must include an ingredient list in the correct format, and your claims must comply with cosmetic regulations. Know your labeling requirements before you list. The product itself is simple to make. The compliance part is where your intelligent approach pays off. 4. Bath bombs. Bath bombs are a product where the perceived value is high relative to the material cost, which is the definition of a good margin. A single bath bomb costs 50 cents to $1.50 to make. It sells for $4 to $8 individually, or $18 to $28 as a gift set of 4 to 6. The beginner's main challenge with bath bombs is moisture management. Too much liquid in your formula activates the fizz reaction prematurely, and your bombs crack, crumble, or expand inside the mold before they set. The solution is using oils that are solid at room temperature, like coconut oil as your binding agent, and adding any liquid components, fragrance oils, micas dispersed in a small amount of oil, with a slow, careful hand while whisking constantly. Humidity in your workspace affects results. On humid days, work faster and mold immediately. On dry days, you have more working time. These are the nuances that separate a consistent product from a batch variable one. Bath bombs are a genuine crowd pleaser at craft fairs. The colors, the shapes, and the fragrance all combine to make them one of the most immediately appealing products on a market stall table. 5. Sugar scrubs. A handmade sugar scrub, granulated sugar, a liquid carrier oil like sweet almond or fractionated coconut oil, fragrance or essential oil, and a cosmetic colorant in a glass jar with a custom label is a product that takes about 10 minutes per batch with an extraordinary margin. A 4-ounce jar costs $1.50 to $3 to make and retails for $8 to $16. A double batch of 10 jars takes about 20 minutes to make. The natural self-care market is genuinely growing, and a sugar scrub with clean ingredients, a beautiful color, and an irresistible scent in a glass jar with a custom label is a product that photographs itself. The beginner's advantage here in sugar scrubs specifically is that they require no specialist equipment: a bowl, a spoon, your jars, your ingredients, nothing else. This is the product I'd recommend for someone who wants to start a bath and beauty line before investing in more complex equipment, because it teaches you formulation, labeling, batch consistency, and photography with the lowest possible barrier to entry. Now here, pause and drop a comment. If you were starting a handmade bath and beauty line from zero today, which product would you launch with first? Candles, soap, lip balm, bath bombs, or sugar scrubs? Because I have a strong opinion on this and I want to know if you agree. Tell me below. 6. Polymer clay earrings. Polymer clay earrings are one of the most lucrative beginner products in the handmade jewelry market right now. The global jewelry market is on track to reach $446.33 billion by 2029, and on Etsy specifically, top jewelry seller Caitlin Minimalist has earned over $68 million in verified revenue. You are entering a proven enormous market. Your material cost per pair of polymer clay earrings is under $2, a small amount of clay, earring hooks, and jump rings. Your retail price is $12 to $28 per pair. That margin is extraordinary for a beginner product. The critical skill to develop before you sell them is photography. Polymer clay earrings live and die by how they're photographed: a white or marble background, a jewelry display stand or a piece of linen fabric, clean natural light or a light box, and a camera angle that shows the earring's scale. Those are the 4 elements that make a listing convert. 7. Beaded bracelets. Beaded bracelets have been a handmade staple for decades, and they continue to sell because they're personal, affordable, and endlessly customizable. The friendship bracelet resurgence, accelerated significantly by the cultural moment around Taylor Swift's Eras Tour in 2023 and 2024, brought a fresh generation of buyers into the handmade bracelet market. Seed bead bracelets, birthstone bracelets, word bracelets with letter beads, and zodiac bracelets are all active sellers on Etsy in 2025 and 2026. Material cost per bracelet runs 50 cents to $3 depending on the quality of beads used. Retail price ranges from $8 to $22. The technique, stringing beads on elastic cord or wire with a simple clasp system, is beginner accessible. The differentiation comes from design intentionality, a cohesive color palette, a specific niche or theme, and clean finishing that includes a consistent bead tension and neat end work. 8. Macrame keychains. A macrame keychain made with a small amount of single-strand cotton cord, a few square knots and half hitches, and a swivel clip or split ring is a beginner macrame project that takes 20 to 30 minutes per piece once you've learned the basic knots. Material cost? Under $2. Retail price? $10 to $18. They display beautifully hanging from a wooden display rack at a craft fair and are a natural impulse buy. More importantly, they're the gateway product for building a macrame business. Someone who buys a macrame keychain and loves it is a warm lead for your plant hangers, wall hangings, and bags. The beginner's advantage in macrame keychains specifically is that the square knot and the half hitch are the only 2 knots you need. Everything else in your early macrame catalog is a variation and combination of those 2 knots. Learn those 2 knots well, and you have the foundation for an entire product range. 9. Resin keychains. Resin keychains made in silicone keychain molds with mica powder, alcohol ink, glitter, or dried botanical inclusions are a fast-producing, high-margin beginner product in the resin craft market. UV resin specifically is the right choice for beginner resin keychains because the curing time is 1 to 3 minutes under a UV lamp rather than 12 to 24 hours for 2-part epoxy. Material cost per keychain is $1 to $3. Retail price is $8 to $18. The technique is accessible. Fill the mold, add your colorants and inclusions, cure, demold, sand the edges smooth, attach the keychain hardware. For a beginner building a resin product line, keychains are the right starting point because the small mold size means less resin per pour, faster iterations, and a lower cost per mistake during the learning phase. What drives price in resin keychains is the quality and creativity of what's inside. A keychain with a tiny pressed flower in clear resin is a completely different product in the buyer's eye than a basic colored pour. 10. Fabric scrunchies. A sewn fabric scrunchie takes approximately 5 minutes on a sewing machine. Material cost is almost nothing, a small strip of fabric and a length of elastic. Retail price is $5 to $10 each, or 3 for $15 to $18. The scrunchie market has maintained strong demand well beyond its resurgence because it's a genuinely useful product that people use daily and want in multiple colors and fabrics for different outfits and moods. Velvet scrunchies sit at the higher end of the price range. Satin and silk feel fabrics photograph beautifully and command a premium. Cotton prints are the entry point. The production math is very favorable. A beginner can make 10 to 15 scrunchies per hour once the technique is consistent, and selling a set of 3 for $15 means your hourly output value is $50 to $75. For a complete beginner to sewing, scrunchies teach the basic techniques: straight stitching, turning tubes right side out, threading elastic, without requiring pattern reading or fit adjustments. 11. Crochet dishcloths. Crochet dishcloths are the beginner crocheter's first sellable product, and they're a product with genuine market demand. The zero-waste and sustainable living communities have created strong, sustained demand for reusable cotton dishcloths as alternatives to paper towels and single-use wipes. A crochet dishcloth in 100% cotton yarn takes 30 to 45 minutes for a beginner to make. It costs approximately $0.80 to $1.50 in cotton yarn. It sells individually for $8 to $12 or in a set of 3 for $18 to $25. The basic stitches needed, chain, single crochet, double crochet, are the same foundational stitches that make a beginner proficient in all of crochet. The dishcloth is simultaneously a skill-building project and a sellable product, which is a combination that makes it one of the best beginner starting points in the fiber arts category. 12. Knitted dishcloths. The knitted equivalent of the crochet dishcloth for beginners who prefer needles over a hook. A basic garter stitch dishcloth, knit entirely with the knit stitch back and forth, teaches cast on, knit stitch, and cast off. Nothing else. Yet the resulting product, in 100% cotton yarn in a coordinated color story, sells in sets of 2 to 3 for $12 to $20 and is a natural fit for the eco-kitchen market. Cotton yarn for a full dishcloth costs approximately $1. The sell price per set gives you a 90% gross margin on materials. And the act of knitting a dishcloth while watching television or listening to a podcast makes the production hours feel less like work. That quality, making something useful with hands that would otherwise be idle, is part of what makes dishcloths the stealth product that a lot of successful Etsy shops quietly rely on for consistent baseline revenue. 13. Greeting cards, hand-stamped or watercolor. A hand-stamped or hand-painted greeting card is a product with a very low barrier to entry and a buyer who purchases in multiples. A rubber stamp set, an ink pad, and quality cardstock are the materials for a stamped card that costs $0.30 to $0.60 to make and sells for $5 to $8 individually or a set of 6 for $18 to $28. Loose watercolor painted cards require slightly more skill but command a higher price, $6 to $12 each. The greeting card market is one where consistency of style across your range matters enormously. A cohesive card collection, 6 cards that clearly belong to the same creative voice, sells better than 6 individually strong but visually unrelated designs. The beginner's advantage in cards is that the investment to start is minimal, and the variety of occasions, birthday, sympathy, congratulations, thank you, blank, means you can always be in season. 14. Wax melts. Wax melts require no wick, no jar matching, and less production complexity than a full candle, which makes them a smart beginner entry point into the home fragrance market. You melt wax, add fragrance oil, pour into a clamshell mold, let set, and you're done. Material cost per clamshell, $1 to $2. Retail price, $5 to $12. The buyer for wax melts already owns a wax warmer and is actively looking for new scents to try, which means they're a repeat purchaser by default. If you can capture one loyal customer who tries and loves a fragrance, that customer comes back every month. The beginner's advantage in wax melts specifically over candles is the elimination of wick testing, the variable that requires the most patience and iteration in candle making. Wax melts have fewer technical variables, which means a beginner can produce a consistent, sellable product faster. 15. Fabric tote bags. A simple fabric tote bag, 2 rectangles of canvas or quilting cotton sewn on 3 sides with handles attached, is a beginner sewing project that results in a product with strong, sustained market demand. The reusable bag market is growing globally as single-use plastic regulations expand in multiple countries. A basic 100% cotton canvas tote bag costs $3 to $7 to make. It sells for $15 to $30. A laminated cotton market bag with a gusset and a clean interior finish sells for $22 to $40. The design differentiation lives entirely in your fabric choice and handle finish. A plain canvas tote with a single bold graphic printed by a cutting machine is a completely different product from a floral quilting cotton tote with leather handle tabs. For a beginner, start with the simplest construction and put your investment into interesting fabric, because fabric is where buyers fall in love with a bag before they even look at the construction. 15. Pressed flower bookmarks. Pressed flower bookmarks, dried botanical specimens arranged on cardstock or laminated between layers, are a product that costs almost nothing to make and sells to the enormous, passionate reading community that has only grown larger through Book Talk. A pressed flower bookmark costs 20 to 50 cents in cardstock, dried flowers from your garden or a florist, and laminating pouches. It sells for $5 to $10 each, or in a set of 3 for $12 to $18. The beginner's advantage here is that pressing flowers requires only 2 weeks of passive waiting, no active skill during that period, and the assembly process of arranging dried botanicals on card and laminating them is creative and accessible. The visual results are naturally beautiful because real flowers are naturally beautiful. You're not trying to make something look like nature, you're using nature directly. That's your product story, and it's a genuinely compelling one. 17. Custom phone cases, either resin or UV printed. Custom phone cases, either UV resin coated with pressed flowers or glitter embedded in the case surface, or sublimated printed with a full color design on a coated blank case, are a fashion accessory with very high Etsy visibility because buyers search for them constantly. A custom sublimated phone case for an iPhone or Samsung model requires a sublimation printer and a coated blank case. The blank costs $2 to $5. The finished case sells for $18 to $32. The resin version requires UV resin and decorative inclusions applied to a clear blank case. The blank costs $1 to $3. The finished case sells for $15 to $28. The beginner challenge in phone cases is the pace of phone model changes. Keeping your listings current with new iPhone and Samsung models requires ongoing updating. But the search volume for custom phone cases on Etsy is consistently very high, which means organic traffic to a well-optimized listing comes more easily here than in many other categories. 18. Crochet scrunchies. The crochet equivalent of the sewn fabric scrunchie, worked in a simple chain and slip stitch or single crochet pattern around a standard hair elastic, a crochet scrunchie takes approximately 15 to 20 minutes for a beginner. Material cost 50 cents to $1 in yarn. Retail price $5 to $10 each, or a set of 3 for $15. Velvet yarn produces a particularly luxurious-looking scrunchie that photographs beautifully and commands the higher end of the price range. The beginner's advantage is that this is a project where you only need to know how to chain and single crochet. 2 stitches, 1 project, a sellable product. For someone who has just learned to crochet and is looking to monetize their new skill as quickly as possible, the scrunchie is the fastest legitimate path from "I just learned to crochet" to "I have something to sell." 19. Personalized bookmarks. Hand-lettered bookmarks, heavy cardstock, a brush pen lettered quote or name sealed with a matte laminate, is a product that takes 5 to 10 minutes per piece once your lettering is consistent and sells for $5 to $10 each. The hand lettering skill itself, learning the basic brush pen strokes and developing consistent letter forms, is achievable in a focused weekend of practice. The reader community on social media is enormous, actively engaged, and buys accessories for their reading habit enthusiastically. A personalized bookmark with someone's name in your lettering style is a deeply personal small gift with almost no production cost. For a beginner who is developing hand lettering as a skill, bookmarks are the fastest path to a sellable product because the format is small, errors are inexpensive, and the buyer's price expectation for a single handmade bookmark is set at a level that makes your hourly rate reasonable even at the beginning of the learning curve. 20. Macrame plant hangers. A basic macrame plant hanger using about 40 feet of 5mm single-strand cotton cord, a wooden ring, and a combination of square knots and gathering knots takes 45 minutes to an hour for a beginner and produces a product that sells for $20 to $45. Material cost $5 to $12. The plant parent community is a sustained, genuinely passionate buyer group that documents their plants, their plant accessories, and their home plant setups on Instagram and Pinterest constantly. A macrame plant hanger tagged correctly in those platforms gets organic discovery from buyers who are actively seeking exactly what you're making. The beginner's advantage in plant hangers specifically is that the design space is clearly defined. You're solving a specific problem, displaying a plant at a height in a beautiful way, and the buyer knows what they're buying and why. That clear use case simplifies your product description, your photography brief, and your SEO keywords simultaneously. 21. Hand-poured room spray. A room spray, distilled water, a small amount of polysorbate 80 to emulsify the fragrance, and a fragrance or essential oil blend in a glass spray bottle is a 10-minute product per batch and a natural companion to candles and wax melts in a home fragrance line. Material cost per 100 milliliter bottle, $1.50 to $3. Retail price, $10 to $18. The beginner advantage is that room sprays require no heat, no cure time, and no specialist equipment, just measuring, mixing, and bottling. The polysorbate 80 is the key ingredient that prevents the fragrance oil from floating on top of the water rather than emulsifying into it. Without it, your spray separates in the bottle and delivers inconsistent scent on each spray. With it, the formula is stable, professional, and ready to label. Pair a room spray with a matching candle in the same scent as a gift bundle for $28 to $40, and you've increased your average order value without adding significant production complexity. 22. Sublimated mugs. A sublimated ceramic mug, a coated blank mug with a full wrap custom design, is one of the most consistent bestsellers on Etsy. The global mug market is enormous, and the personalization angle, a name, a quote, a photo, an inside joke, gives handmade sellers a product that chain stores genuinely cannot stock. A coated blank mug costs $2 to $5. The sublimation transfer print costs pennies in ink. The finished mug sells for $18 to $35. To sublimate a mug, you need a sublimation printer and a mug press or convection oven with a mug wrap. The mug press method is faster and more consistent for volume production. The beginner challenge is getting the sublimation print file set up correctly for the specific mug size. The dimensions must match your mug's printable area exactly, or the design will shift, stretch, or cut off at the seam. Once that template is dialed in for your specific mug model, the production is fast and repeatable. 23. Felt animal ornaments. Hand-sewn felt ornaments, small stuffed animal shapes cut from colored felt, whip-stitched around the edges and lightly stuffed, are a beginner hand-sewing project with a strong year-round market. Christmas ornaments are perennial sellers on Etsy. People collect them, give them as gifts, and start shopping for them as early as August. A single felt ornament costs 50 cents to $1.50 in materials and takes 20 to 35 minutes of hand stitching. It sells for $8 to $16 individually or as a set of 3 for $20 to $28. The beginner's advantage is that felt is one of the most forgiving fabrics to work with. It doesn't fray, doesn't require hemming, and accepts a variety of thread and embroidery floss types for decoration. A set of 3 felt animal ornaments in coordinated colors in a small craft paper gift box is a complete giftable product that can be priced and photographed beautifully without any specialist equipment. 24. Air dry clay earrings. Air dry clay, specifically brands like Crayola air dry clay, DOS, or the more craft-specific Primo alternatives used while still pliable before firing, can be shaped, textured, and left to dry at room temperature with no oven required. A pair of air dry clay earrings costs 50 cents to $1.50 in materials and takes 20 to 40 minutes to make, including shaping, texturing, and assembling the earring hardware after the clay dries. The surface of air dry clay accepts acrylic paint beautifully once cured, which opens a wide range of color and finish options. Important technical note for beginners: air dry clay is more fragile than polymer clay after curing because it hasn't been heat hardened. Keeping pieces above a certain thickness, at least 3 to 4 millimeters, and avoiding very thin, delicate forms prevents breakage during handling and wearing. Sealing finished pieces with a matte or gloss varnish adds both durability and a professional finish. 25. Hand-tied dried flower bundles. A small bundle of dried herbs and flowers, lavender, rosemary, eucalyptus, dried roses, or wildflower mixes, tied with natural twine or ribbon, is a product that sits at the intersection of home decor, aromatherapy, and the slow living aesthetic that has maintained strong market appeal through the mid-2020s. Material cost for a small bundle is $1 to $4, depending on whether you grow, forage, or buy your botanicals wholesale. Retail price $8 to $18. The beginner's advantage is that the making is primarily in sourcing, drying, and presenting the botanicals. The assembly is simple, the materials do most of the visual work, and the fragrance sells the product to anyone standing near your market table. Dried lavender bundles specifically have documented consistent sales on Etsy year-round, with spikes in spring and around Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, and Christmas. Pairing a dried flower bundle with a matching scented candle or room spray as a gift set is a natural bundle that lifts average order value significantly. 26. Fabric gift wrap, furoshiki style. Hemmed fabric squares in beautiful printed cotton, offered as reusable gift wrapping in the Japanese furoshiki tradition, are a product with a clear sustainability story, a beautiful visual presentation, and a buying occasion that repeats throughout the year. Every birthday, anniversary, and holiday is a potential sale. Material cost for a 50-centimeter fabric square is $1 to $3 in printed quilting cotton plus thread. Retail price $8 to $14 each, or a set of 3 sizes for $18 to $28. The sewing required is entirely straight line hemming, 4 edges, a mitered or folded corner. This is the most accessible sewing project in terms of technique, and the variety of fabric prints available to a beginner is your differentiator. A fabric square in a beautiful Liberty of London-style floral or a bold geometric print commands the same production time as a plain fabric, but sells for 40% more. Invest in your fabric. 27. Personalized wooden key rings, laser engraved. A laser engraved wooden key ring, a pre-cut wooden blank with a name, initials, or short text engraved with a diode laser, is a beginner product with a very high conversion rate on Etsy because personalized gifts are consistently one of the platform's top search categories. A wooden key ring blank costs 50 cents to $1.50, and the laser engraving time per piece is 2 to 5 minutes on a diode laser at appropriate settings. The finished key ring sells for $8 to $18. Personalized versions command $2 to $5 above the base price with no additional material cost, just the file change. The beginner's advantage in laser engraved key rings is that the design skill required is minimal. Clean text in a good font, correctly scaled for the blank size, is a genuinely effective and best-selling product. You don't need complex illustrations. You need clean execution of a simple, personal idea. 28. Crocheted baby beanies. A crocheted baby beanie takes 30 to 45 minutes for a beginner working confidently and sells for $12 to $22 individually or $28 to $38 as a matching hat and booty set. The baby gift market is consistently strong because there is always a new baby somewhere in every social circle, and grandparents, aunts, uncles, and friends actively seek handmade alternatives to mass-produced baby items. The sizing considerations, newborn, 0 to 3 months, 3 to 6 months, are straightforward once you have a reliable pattern, and clear sizing in your listings prevents returns and exchanges. Adding a simple crochet flower or bow embellishment adds perceived value with very little additional material or time cost. 29. Pompom garlands. Making pom-poms with a plastic pom-pom maker available in multiple sizes is a completely accessible beginner project. Wrap yarn around the tool, cut, tie, trim, and you have a pom-pom. String them on a length of jute or ribbon in a coordinated color palette, and you have a garland that sells for $15 to $28. Material cost $2 to $6 in yarn. Display one in your photography setup, and every parent of a young child, nursery decorator, or boho home enthusiast understands the product immediately. The beginner's advantage is zero technical barrier. If you can hold yarn and scissors, you can make pom-poms. The differentiation lives entirely in your color palette, which is a creative choice that costs nothing extra. A pom-pom garland in terracotta, rust, and sage, photographed in a styled nursery corner, is a completely different product from the same pom-poms in pastel pink and white. Same construction, completely different market and price perception. 30. Handmade sticker sheets, cut by machine. A sticker sheet designed digitally and printed on sticker paper, then cut with a Cricut, Silhouette, or printed as kiss-cut stickers through a print-on-demand service, is a product with virtually no material cost and strong, growing demand from the planner community, the journaling community, the stationery community, and anyone who uses decorative stickers for organization or aesthetic purposes. A single sticker sheet printed at home on a home inkjet printer with sticker paper costs 30 cents to 70 cents per sheet. It sells for $3 to $8. A themed sticker sheet bundle, 5 coordinating sheets and a clear sleeve, sells for $12 to $20. For a beginner with any digital design skill, even basic Canva or Procreate capability, sticker sheets are the most accessible handmade product with the fastest time to listing. The sticker community on Instagram and TikTok is large, shares enthusiastically, and consistently discovers new makers through organic sharing. One well-designed sticker sheet that resonates with a specific niche, a specific TV show aesthetic, a specific hobby, a specific life phase can generate enough organic shares to build a customer base very quickly.